went to the evening school at Boston College, and I worked in the composing room at the Boston Globe. I was an apprentice typesetter.
So when you were in the service, what branch of the military were you in?
United States Army.
United States Army. Did you enlist or were you drafted?
I was drafted.
What happened when you departed for training camp during your early days of training?
Where did I take my training camp?
Yeah, and what happened during your early days of training?
I had my basic training at Camp Edwards, Massachusetts.
Do you remember any of your instructors? If so, what were they like?
No, I don't.
Okay. Did you receive any specialized training?
Yes.
What was that?
I took a course in chemical, biological, and radiological warfare at Fort Devens. And later on, during my service time, I was an instructor in CBR.
In where?
In chemical, biological, radiological warfare. I was an instructor.
Oh, okay. What was it like adapting to the military life?
It was difficult.
Was it?
But it was an unusual experience being in the military.
Yeah. How so?
I met a lot of great people, and a lot of my army buddies they were from all over the country, and they were very nice people.
And you served in Korea, correct?
Pardon me?
And you served in Korea, right?
I served during the Korean War, but I wasn't in Korea. I was in Germany.
Oh, you were in Germany.
Yeah.
And what were you doing in Germany?
I was in the 529th Field Artillery Observation Battalion.
And tell me a little bit about that. What you would do, what you would do day by day, really, in Germany.
Well, I was in the radar section of that battalion, and we were training troops in Europe, and we would check the artillery guns by plotting shells in midair. Don't forget, at that time we had 4 divisions in the army in Germany, and across the Iron Curtain there were 260 Russian divisions.
Really?
And that was the time of the Berlin blockade, so people thought there might have been something going on. So that's why we were there.
So did you see any combat?
No.
No combat. What kind of, do you still have any friends from serving?
Do I still have what?
Do you still keep in touch with any of your friends from the service?
Yeah, just very few of them.
Very few?
No, most of them have passed away.
Yeah. How did you stay in touch with your family and friends back at home?
By mail.
By mail?
Yeah.
Did you mail them every day or every once in a while?
Well, I mailed your mother more often than anybody else. We were dating at the time.
Oh, really?
Of course, my mother. But when you're in the army, all your letters, if you're overseas, if you're in Europe, your letters go to a post office in New York, and then it's delivered to your battalion. So everything goes through the port of New York, and so nobody knows really just where you are.
Yeah.
That's how they do it. They do it in an army post office, and they take care of getting the mail delivered to you.
And what did you do for recreation or when you were off duty?
Well, we played
Right.
But there wasn't a hell of a lot of recreation.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Where were you when the war ended?
When the war in Korea ended,
Yeah, where were you when the war ended?
the war ended, the war really never ended.
Really?
The fighting stopped, but the war, there was no armistice. They're still arguing about that.
So the fighting just stopped, and you think the war is still?
No, the fighting just stopped at a certain point in the Korean War, but then there was no peace treaty or anything. They just both sides agreed to stop fighting, but technically speaking, I'm not sure the war's ever been over. It was a police action. I'm not sure it was ever over.
Right.
They couldn't get together on the terms of it, but that's the border between South Korea and North Korea is still heavily guarded.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. There's no Americans on the north of that border, and there's no North Koreans in the south of it.
Right. Yeah. And how did you return home?
Troop ship.
A ship?
I come home in a troop ship. The ship was full of troops. We sailed from Bremerhaven, Germany to New York.
And how long did that take?
It took about 8 days, I think.
Really? Got any good stories from that ship?
It was very crowded.
I bet it was.
When we got into the port of New York, there was an announcement made. Anybody caught throwing equipment over the side of the ship will be court-martialed.
Really?
We all knew we were coming home when we were getting out of service, but they didn't want anybody throwing uniforms into the harbor, so it was kind of funny.
And did your family meet you in New York?
No. My brother Paul did. My brother Paul was stationed at Fort Dix in New Jersey, and he met me when I came home. They took us to Camp Kilmer in New Jersey, and when we got off the bus, he was there in New Jersey.
And you said he was in the service as well?
Yeah, he was in the Army as well, but he never went overseas.
Oh, okay. What was it like readjusting to life, civilian life over here?
Well, I came home and I went to work and I went back to school, so it was
Wasn't too bad?
good to be home.
Good to be home?
Yeah.
Are you a member of any veteran organizations?
Yes.
Which ones?
I'm a member of the Disabled American Veterans, and I'm a member of the Veterans of Foreign Wars. I was a post adjutant. I was the lawyer for the post. I'm not that active in it now, but I was in the VFW and the Disabled American Veterans.
And just tell me a little bit about what you've done since separating from the military. So after the military, basically.
What I've done? Well, I graduated from college and law school. I completed my training in the Boston Globe. And after I graduated from law school, I set up my law office, and I did that until I was 61 years old. Then I was appointed a judge, and I retired as a judge in 1999 on my 70th birthday, which we have to do. Judges can't serve after age 70.
Oh, they can't?
No, they have to take retirement. They can be recalled if they want to be, but they don't serve as a sitting judge.
Have you ever been recalled?
What?
Have you ever been recalled?
No. No, you have to agree to be recalled, but if you're recalled as a judge, your pension is 75% of your pay. And if you recall as a judge, you can only earn that extra 25%. So very few people are recalled. You
Yeah.
have to apply for it, and they don't recall very many at all.
Yeah. And how did your wartime experiences affect your life?
Well, it enables you to meet people from all over the country and to live with them and to serve with them, and you get a different outlook on life in the service. You know, you become very friendly with people that you never knew before, and you live rather closely together. And it gives you an idea what people from various parts of the country are like, and it gives you an idea as to what you're like, and you compare yourself to them. And also you make an awful lot of friendships, and also you learn to obey the rules and take care of your body. So it's an experience that I'm glad I had, and I think that everybody in the country should serve either in the military or some kind of a government job like they do in Switzerland and they do in Israel.
Right.
It would give you a different outlook on life, I think. I really do. I'm glad I did it. I didn't have to do it because my mother was a widow and I was the sole support of the family. So, but I did.
And how has your military service impacted your feelings about war and the military in general?
What?
How has it impacted your feelings about war and the military in general? Your service.
Well, you know, again, you learn how to live under difficult circumstances. You learn how to get along with people. You have to learn how to obey the rules, and it's an experience that's with you for your whole life, and you're serving your country.
Right. And do you have any message for the future generations who will hear this or who will be going into the service?
Yeah, if you're going into the service, you're going to perform a duty that everybody doesn't perform. You're going to give something back to your country. You're going to learn to live with other people, and you're being an important part of the country.
All right, perfect. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Papa?
Yes, I hope you don't have to go in.
Yes, don't worry about me.
Let me tell you something, Goody. I'm serious.